Well, hello and welcome to Shootin' the Bull podcast here on Spotify, spotlighting the brand new Worcester Bulls of the American Premier Hockey League. I'm Keith Kokinda. I'll be doing the play-by-play on our YouTube channel for live games starting with Saturday night, October 25th in Worcester as the Bulls take on the Ridgetown Royals. We have with us tonight the team's owner, Cody Lang, and head coach Tim Sizemore. Cody, I'll start with you. You've spent 15 years as a hockey referee at various levels. What made you decide, hey, I want to get a dog in the fight and be an owner for a change?
Good question. Because now I'm thinking, why did I do it? I'm just kidding. I don't know, just a change of pace. The last 14 years I've spent doing ref and professional hockey and getting to travel around and all the people I've met and attending the NHL camp. It's been amazing. But the older you get, now that I have a 6-month old, the travel is just not. I was on the road every Friday and Saturday, and it was all over basically the eastern central part of the U.S. So it's kind of nice to be home and spend some more time with family. But I've refed in this league the first 2 years, and just kind of seeing where the league was going, it kind of got me excited and thinking about, starting a team. And it really was just kind of on paper, really in like January. And then we kind of really started the gears in April, obviously with finding an arena. And there's a couple of different locations that we talked to, and Worcester was the first one to really jump on it. And I refed a lot there when I did junior hockey, when they had the hockey programs there. So I knew it was a beautiful arena, and I knew that they could bring good crowds, and that from everything that I've gathered, the community of Worcester loves hockey, and I think this type of hockey is gonna be something they haven't really seen before, and I think something that they're really gonna enjoy. But
You mentioned the Alice Noble Ice Arena where the Bulls will be playing their home games. Was that probably the biggest factor in selecting where you were going to play? Because I'm sure you looked at other sites as well to see what they had in terms of an arena facilities.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing it really came down to was obviously having arena that had the ice time. A lot of arenas like this, they fill up quick, with teams trying to get practice ice and game ice. We looked at Finley, we looked at Hobart Arena in Troy, and we just couldn't make those work. And we reached out to Worcester, and I mean it was a pretty fast response. So we were able to make things happen quick, which helped get us to where we're at now. But really couldn't have picked a more beautiful arena. I mean, you look at some of the other arenas in this league, and they're kind of holes in the wall. But I think we definitely have probably one of the nicest rinks in the league. And that's kudos to the Noble family and the staff there for keeping up on it. I think it's been open for 22 years,
Something like that. Yeah, I think
something
it's
like that.
2003.
So,
Yeah.
2001.
2001. Okay. Yeah. The Noble family will be part of our special guests on the orange carpet at the home opener. Everything begins at 4 o'clock with our pregame tailgate. And I can understand what you're saying about I don't know about Finley, but Hobart Arena. I know it's been there for a long time. It's well used a lot, and I've seen this sort of thing in professional indoor soccer as well, small scale league that plays across the country. It's a very similar situation in terms of finding a place to play. In terms of the response from the community, the businesses, what's been the biggest pleasant surprise that you've seen so far going forward with this venture?
Honestly, I think the community engagement. I mean, we're sitting right at 70 season ticket holders, which is fantastic for year one. And then, I mean, our preseason game, it was like, I'll say between 600 and 650, which is a very good crowd for a preseason game, especially for a brand new team. But we've spent time in the community. We did the Worcester Kids Day, which was great. There was like 2,000 kids that came through. That was really our first interaction with the public. And then we spent a week at the fair, which was fantastic. We really got to know the staff at the fairgrounds, and we worked the gates, volunteered and did that, and kind of got ourselves out in front of all those people that came through that gate the 2 days that we did it. And then we had a booth there, and a lot of interaction. And then just on the sponsor side, I'm trying to think of the exact number, but we're somewhere in the mid 20s in sponsors for the year, which is fantastic for a year one. We've put a lot of time and effort into that, and we've built a staff to go out and do that as well. People who are local and know a lot of the local businesses, and we've put a lot of good staff members in the right positions to make the organization succeed.
We're now going to switch over to the head coach, Tim Sizemore. Tim, you've had some experience coaching coming into this. What was the biggest challenge in terms of making sure you were finding the right players for the team?
That's a great question. With it being a new team and having to start from the ground up, the biggest thing was for me personally is having guys who bought in. If you buy into the program, you're a lot easier to coach, you're a lot easier to play well, and you're having a lot more fun playing for us. So that was kind of the big thing. Another thing was, of course, skill. We want to have a good team, and we also want to have that size too. So that's kind of where we went with building the team. So far, I feel like we built a very, very good team. We're just putting the puzzle pieces in the right spot to make that a complete picture at this point.
Yeah. How much value do you put on previous experience? If you have several players, I'd say at least half the roster have played at some level of professional hockey before. How much of a factor in terms of experience were you looking for? Say, I need guys with a certain amount of experience to really, as you say, be able to make guys buy into this, especially somebody who may be new to professional hockey.
Right, correct. Veteran presence is super important, because they've lived the life a little bit, and they're able to kind of coach up the newer guys who, I'm not able to give them that because, again, I'm new to this league as well. So, for example, Matteo, he's been great with the younger guys and the rookies, coaching them up, telling them how things go in this league, what to do, what not to do, just keeping everyone's head on straight. So that veteran presence is super important when it comes to building any team.
And you talked there about being new to this league. Finding players who had previously played there? You've got, like you said, you met Matt Wachinsky, who you just mentioned, as well as a couple other guys who had played in Toledo. Is that helpful in terms of learning for you to learn what's going on here, as well as you say, coaching up the younger players?
Yes, absolutely. So I lean on Matteo a lot when it comes to things in the locker room, things on the ice, questions I have about, player personnel, stuff like that. He's been around. He knows what's up. So I do lean on Matteo a lot, kind of figuring out bits and pieces and where put those said puzzle pieces at. You can't ask for a better advisor than Matteo for sure.
Yeah, watching the game Saturday in Toledo, the Bulls unfortunately lost on a late goal 3-2. In spite of being in the lead for the better part of 45 minutes of the game, or at least tied. Do you think the fact that you talk about Matt coming over from Toledo and a couple other players as well, do you think Toledo's experience level, the fact they've been together for the most part for 3 seasons, had a lot to do with that?
Yeah, I do believe that their chemistry helped them win that game. It really started to show towards the end when our fast legs got a little bit tired. They were able to kind of pick us apart with their chemistry, figuring out our weaknesses way quicker than we could figure out theirs.
Yeah.
So
when I got a chance to talk to Mark Johnson, the longtime Wisconsin women's hockey coach, who's won 8 national championships with the Badgers. One thing he told me that he learned from his dad, the legendary Badger Bob Johnson, was that every game or practice is an opportunity. What kind of an opportunity you take away from that loss in Toledo going forward?
It's a huge learning experience. We learned weaknesses that we didn't know earlier in earlier preseason games because we played the same team twice. So now we've played a different team with a different play style and different level of chemistry. They were able to kind of figure out things that we didn't see yet. So now we're going to fix that up and then be better here for the next time we meet Toledo here on the 8th.
Yeah, they'll be coming back into town in a couple of weeks' time following the game on the 25th when the Bulls host the Ridgetown Royals for the home opener. Again, festivities before the game will be starting at 4 p.m. There will be tailgating involved. We'll have an orange carpet walk. The mayor of Worcester will be there as well as the Nova family. We're looking forward to a great time. And again, the game will be available live on our YouTube channel. Just look up Worcester Bulls Hockey on YouTube. And continue to watch for us here on Spotify as we continue throughout the season with this Shootin' the Bull podcast. And also follow us on Instagram at Worcester Bulls Hockey for all the latest. Ben Ickes, who handles all the technical and video and online aspects of what we do with the Worcester Bulls, does a great job keeping the posts up. Timmy, he had a couple with you up there as well as Cody. I'm on there as well at Keith Kokinda. Follow all of us as well as the players on Instagram. We certainly welcome your comments. Also, during the webcast on our YouTube channel, there is a place where fans can interact with us. Use the hashtag Bulltown Hockey, and we'll see about maybe reading some of those comments. So Cody Lang and Tim Sizemore, thanks for being part of this. Ben Ickes, thank you for all the work that you did. I'm Keith Kokinda. Again, this is the premier Shootin' the Bull podcast available here on Spotify. And again, the Bulls taking on Ridgetown on October 25th from 7 p.m. live on our YouTube channel.
Go Bulls.